A Ukrainian sailor sinks his Russian boss's $7.7 million luxury super yacht. So let's get right into this because I thought this was a pretty cool story. So, a Ukrainian man was arrested for partially sinking his Russian tycoon boss' $7.7 million luxury super yacht in Spain in protest over the Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine. Taras Ostapchuk, 55, was taken into custody on Saturday in Mallorca after he allegedly opened several valves to intentionally flood the 156-foot-long vessel, the Majorca Daily Bulletin reported. The yacht, named Lady Anastasia, is owned by businessman Alexander Mejiv, who is the CEO of Russian military weapons company Rosoborn Export. When officers arrived to arrest Ostapchuk, the crew member allegedly said, "My boss is a criminal who sells weapons that kill the Ukrainian people." Ostapchuk said he was spurred to sabotage the luxury yacht after seeing news reports of Russia's invasion of the Ukraine, according to the local outlet. "I watched the news about the war. There was a video of a helicopter attack on a building in Kyiv. The armaments used are produced by the yacht's owner's company. They were attacking innocents," Ostapchuk said as he faced court. He told the judge he didn't regret his actions and would do it again. The yacht reportedly suffered severe damage to its engine room. Look at him, right? Like he is so bloody happy. Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. He's so happy. He's like, "Yep." So I'll sub check. Actually, no. Alexander Mejiv is actually. This is the boss. This guy's the boss. Okay. So then, okay. Taras Chuck. Taras Optichuk. Let's see. I wonder what he looks like. Okay, so that's Taras Optichuk. Ostapchuk. And this is the CEO. Interesting. So let's see. Hold on. So that's him, the boss, Alexander Mejiv. We'll just look him up a little bit. Uh, let's go net worth. Bum, 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 bum. I don't really see anything dealing with his amount of money. Oh, that sucks. Net worth. Okay, so there's not going to basically be anything getting picked up. Wait. Oh, interesting. Okay, so he was arrested for partially sinking the luxury yacht in Port Adriano. He fully accepted the facts of the case and assumed total responsibility for what happened. When the Guardia Civil arrived in Port Adriano on Saturday, he turned himself in and told officers, "My boss is a criminal who sells weapons that kill the Ukrainian people." Okay, so that's interesting. That's very interesting. So he has worked as a mechanic on the Lady Anastasia for some 10 years. He acted after seeing a news report on television. Okay. That gives a little bit more context, right? So he actually turned himself in. He was perfectly open to everything He was like, "Yep, I did this. This is why I did it. Punish me." So that's actually a pretty interesting thing, right? Like it kind of puts it into like a little bit more perspective, right? See anything else? He intends to return to his native Ukraine to help fight. I'm going to fight. As soon as I reach the first Ukrainian city, I will look for the military commander and ask him if they need me, Ostapchuk told the local outlet. I told myself, why do I need a job if I have my country? I had a good job as a head mechanic on the boat and a good salary, but I am going to fight for my nation. I am not going to lose my country. I am not a hero. I'm a middle aged man, but I have a lot of experience as a mechanic. I've never held a weapon, but if necessary, I will. Why not? That's actually some pretty powerful stuff, right? Because you basically got an individual who is completely willing to do whatever it takes for his home country, right? Which Ukraine needs. Ukraine needs those types of people fighting for them, to support them, to be in the mechanic side of the whole military. That's a fast car. But this is the only problem, right? Because I think the biggest problem in terms of like Ukraine versus Russia is that a lot of the Ukrainian, in quotes, soldiers are not soldiers, right? I'm pretty certain everyone's probably seen that video of the Ukrainian soldier whose clip literally just fell out of the gun, right? Like it literally just fell out of the gun. Like that's some crazy stuff, right? So you basically have a military filled with basically commoners that have no knowledge of combat but have the will of combat fighting a military that probably has a lot of experience in combat training and are probably going to be more merciless to the Ukrainians. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what's actually going to end up being the outcome of this whole situation. I really hope I hope Ukraine actually survives, right? I really hope. The only problem is going to get to the point where governments are probably going to put the pressure on Russia if any of them actually have a spine. And if they do that, and if they get to the point where Russia literally has nothing left to lose, I think Russia is going to just probably try to slaughter everybody, right? Now that's a personal viewpoint, but it's going to get nuts, right? Like it's already nuts. There's already a lot of people who passed away, who were murdered, but it's going to get even crazier, right? So just keep that in mind. I don't think this is going to be done anytime soon because if it is, it's going to be horrible. If it takes a long time, it's going to be horrible. Like, there's no good side of this at all. Like, this doesn't end like peacefully. Like, from my viewpoint, there's no way that this is going to end up having like a reasonable solution. But props to this Ukrainian sailor who, you know, believes so strongly in his country that he did this as retaliation, as protest, and be like, hey, you are the CEO of the company that is basically providing all the military grade weapons to Russia, right? And those weapons are killing my people. So, people might have different views on, what the guy did, but look, the guy does not regret it. He was willing to do it again. He would do it again. And he's extremely wanting to fight for his country. And, from my viewpoint, there's nothing wrong with that. I hope he stays safe. I hope he survives throughout the whole thing because he's obviously someone who has a love for his country and the people who live in his country.